beautiful souls, Melanie Beckler here, and in this video we're going to look at 5 key things you need to know about the powerful Equinox Gateway. The peak energies of the equinox happen March 20th of 2023, but really from about March 13th until the 23rd, we're in this period of amplified energy that's due to a whole convergence of factors: astrological, photonic light, solar flares, along with a potent and powerful new moon happening on March 21st, right after or extending the peak equinox energies. So diving right in, the first thing you need to know about this year's Equinox Gateway is that it is a point of major new beginning and paradigm shift for humanity, where we as humanity are entering into a whole new chapter, a whole new phase collectively. And as a part of this, this is a time of major endings, big cycles coming to a close, making way for big new beginnings. And so at this point of major ending and major beginning, it's so powerful to refocus in on what are your intentions, because there is this impulse now for transformation, for change, for development, for growth, for stepping into the new. And by being clear about the direction that you're intending to head in as a soul, as a divine being in physical form, you can greatly empower yourself at this point of trajectory shift. And if you're like me, and at times when you're asking yourself, what do I really desire? And things seem a bit blurred, or you're not really sure, focus in on what are those core values that you desire to experience more of. So for me, there's self-awareness and self-realization, exploration, love, doing my soul work, and focusing in on those values can be just as important as the specifics of what you're seeking to manifest. So focus in on the core intentions to empower this wave of transformation and change and energy in a way that will uplift and support you in your own journey and life. The second thing to note about this Equinox Gateway is that it is a time of reharmonization. So we're at this point of equinox, of relative balance in the hemispheres, this point of equal length of day and night. And this hemisphere balance creates an amplified access point to the 0 point field of pure potentiality, and creates this fertile soil and opportunity to find the path back to your true, authentic self, to reharmonize and recalibrate with your divine soul blueprint, that divine template for your embodiment here in the physical, the divine blueprint that's free of any trauma or baggage or past experiences of suffering and the programs and paradigms that have been layered on as a result. And so in finding the way back to that pure, innocent, divine expression of you as divine in physical form, awareness is so powerful. Both tuning into the awareness that that divine blueprint, that embodied soul expression, that experience of soul, of higher self, the divine light being you innately are, that already is. That seed was already planted into physical for you in this lifetime. So that seed for your divine embodiment exists. And by becoming aware of that, you can recognize that there's nothing outside of you that you need to attain or change or become. Rather, it's about cultivating the right conditions, nourishing the soil of your own life so that that divine seed within you can blossom and sprout and grow. And a part of cultivating the right conditions in the soil is cleansing out and purifying those things that are no longer serving you, those programs and habits and patterns and perspectives, which can be empowered not by resisting them or judging ourselves, me included, for having areas that I'm still working on, for not being perfect, but rather becoming aware of where there are old patterns and triggers and perhaps traumas that are playing out. And by being aware of them and accepting them, so not even trying to change it, but just accepting yourself, accepting the moment as it is, that surrender that gives rise to acceptance, that allows the energy to circulate and allows that old pattern to dissolve, to melt, to dissipate, so that more of your embodied, authentic soul light and truth can shine through. And that embodied soul expression is a huge part of what this next phase, next chapter for humanity is all about. Each of us stepping into that. And we dive deep into that this year in the Equinox angelic activations, which you can check out and learn more about the Equinox Gateway at angelactivation.com. So essentially honoring that we each are divine beings who have passed through the veil of illusion and taken on all of these layers, all of this baggage. And we're empowered in upgrading when we clear out and purify our vessel to more perfectly and harmoniously resonate with the higher light of the divine, the higher light of higher self and divine truth, resonating with that, attracting that, and embodying that through. The third thing to know about this powerful Equinox Gateway is that everything is accelerating, and we're really entering in to this amplified, accelerated phase of the year of 2023, where this massive transformation of humanity is unfolding. And as a result, there are shadowy aspects and figures, shadowy truths that have been buried and suppressed, old traumas, all the stuff is up for review. And so as we accelerate in this transformational journey, it's so important to return to center, to stay grounded and present, to connect with nature, and just to touch that place of stillness, of calm, of presence within, and that underlying sense of peace, of knowing that all is well deep down is always accessible, even when things on the surface feel very chaotic. So I have a short video on this channel teaching a powerful practice for grounding and centering your energy. I recommend checking that out, as well as the equinox activations, as well as asking yourself, how can I nourish and support myself? What works for me to return to balance, to return to harmony? This would be a good time to take on an embodiment practice, to work with moving energy, to stretch, to work out, to hike in nature, just doing the things that work for you to stay grounded, present, and centered as the transformation continues to unfold with and through you. Number 4. The equinox is this point of relative balance where we have access to the 0 point field of pure potentiality, where we have an opportunity to cultivate greater harmony within our own field. And one of the big themes that I'm feeling at this time is this impulse and opportunity to balance and harmonize masculine and feminine, the forces of divine masculine and divine feminine, which whether we each are in a male or female body and however we identify, both of those, masculine and feminine, are there. And there is this impulse to bring both of those into harmony, into balance, to better learn how to work and support one another as male, as female, and to harmonize those forces within ourselves. And so a simple practice that I'm becoming aware of in this moment to do that involves harmonizing the left and right hemisphere of the brain, to tune in at the center of the brain to that spark of light in the center of the third eye. If you haven't done any third eye work before, check out my videos on this channel about that. But tuning into that point at the center of the brain and then finding that figure 8 movement from left to right, the energy harmonizing from the left to the right hemispheres of the brain, the entire brain illuminating with light from the divine, flowing in from source, from higher self, from soul, to illuminate your brain and empower this harmony and equilibrium to be cultivated within so you can shine it out forth beyond you to bless every situation you come into, because you are in resonance with that higher light and truth of who you are as an authentic divine being in physical form, embodying soul and letting that shine forth from within you. So again, we go more into this in the activations for this equinox at angelactivation.com. But then the fifth thing to know about this Equinox Gateway is that it's a good time to honor our progress, honor how far we've come as individuals in this journey, in our life, all that we've overcome, and our sincere intent to continue to evolve and develop and grow. I know for myself in the past week, there's been a lot coming up around where I wish I was further, where I wish I was doing better. But in stepping back and acknowledging how much growth there has been in my own journey of all the things I am doing well or right, there's an opening where judging how much further there is to go can create a contraction, a closing of the energy centers. And opening is so key to receiving the influx of higher light, of guidance, of soul wisdom that's so available and accessible during this gateway when we open to it. So honoring how far you've come, but then, and I forget where this quote comes from, but I'm recalling a quote about how we overestimate what we can do in a year and greatly underestimate what we can do in 10 years. And when I was working on compiling information for this equinox, whenever I would write out 2023, it kept looking like 2033 to me. It was just this interesting, like, intuitive vision where I was seeing 2033 every time I wrote out 2023. And so this for me was an indication about viewing the bigger picture. So this is a major point of new beginning, the entrance into a chapter, into the new world. And in stories or in movies, when a character enters the new world, the first thing they do is they start looking around like, what is this new world about? What are the opportunities here? What's now possible? And for this new world, beginning with this equinox and with this new moon on March 21st, viewing what's possible for you in this bigger 10-year vision. What can you create, become, evolve into, expand your consciousness into in this bigger view and lens, and letting that empower and inspire you to not limit, but to really open to all that is now becoming possible that perhaps wasn't possible before, but in this new world, and showing up as the new you who's no longer limiting and limited by the old patterns of ego of the old paradigm, but embodying the divine blueprint of your soul where the highest possibilities for your life are accessible and are available. having that big picture view can be very empowering and inspiring to dream big and then begin taking little steps in that direction, not needing to see the whole map laid out in front of you. I think I've used this metaphor before about we've all had this experience now, I'm sure, of typing in a destination on our phone in Google Maps. This is my intention of where I want to go to, and then go. And then yes, Google shows, the whole route view, but then we hit go and it tells us our very next turn. And then when we take that turn, then the next direction appears. And this is really how guidance works in our life, in the spiritual journey. We don't get like, okay, here's your master blueprint for the next 10 years of how you can get to this goal and attain your North Star. It's like, no, it's this is your very next step. Go check this place out. Go do this thing. Go take that course. Listen to that meditation. Put it into writing. It can be very small, but when you take that small step, then the next appears. Then the opportunity to collaborate appears. Then further guidance is revealed, and step by step the way appears. And one other piece about this, setting the big 10-year goal, that vision, what do you value? Then being real and honest with yourself about where can structure support you. So is there discipline that's lacking in your life? If you have the goal of building a business, but you're just not doing the work, then there's something missing. Or if self-realization and expanded consciousness is your goal, but you're not regularly meditating, then having the discipline to do a meditation will serve you greatly. Or if you're wanting to lose weight, but you're not practicing discipline, or you don't have any structure around your diet and you're just eating whatever when you get hungry, that's not going to support you in that journey nearly as much as creating the structure, the meal plan, and empowering your journey. So where can structure and discipline support you in then having the freedom to flow with intuition and inspiration as it appears? There's a fine line between allowing and intending. And around this equinox point is a good time to recalibrate, return to center, return to presence, align with that harmonizing and cultivating structure within physical reality, but also within the physical body and energetic field. Structured water comes to mind. Water is one of these big themes for this new energy that we're moving into, and we all are made up mostly of water. And as you've probably seen in Dr. Emoto's work, we're able to structure water with our intention, with the qualities of love, and so we're able to support our own development and subtle structures in developing through calling forth that love and light, opening to the great influx of light, of plasma energy, of photonic light, of source level vibration that's available to us always. But during certain periods like this Equinox Gateway, it becomes more accessible due to this balance and 0 point energy in the field. So I hope this is helpful for you. Again, check out angelactivation.com to learn more about the 2023 Equinox activations that I've channeled. They're really just so powerful. There's deep soul harmonization, remembrance, light body activation. You're going to love it, and I look forward to connecting with you there. And then I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.